Today, we will be seeing the last part of the chapter, Language of Chemistry. Under this, we are going to see few concepts of atomic mass, relative atomic mass, molecular mass, how to calculate the molecular mass of the given compounds, how to calculate the percentage composition of the given compounds. Okay, children, so now let us first see what is atomic mass and how do we calculate that. So what is atomic mass? Atomic mass is nothing but the entire weight or the mass of an atom. We know that an atom consists of protons which are positively charged, neutrons which are neutral, they have no charge, and it consists of electrons. Okay, we know that protons are positively charged, neutrons are without any charge, but both protons and neutrons consist of some kind of a mass, which is at least having some kind of a considerable mass. Compared to a proton or a neutron, electron is 1837 times smaller than that of a proton or a neutron. So that is why we say that its mass is negligible. So when we calculate the atomic mass of a given element, of a given atom, okay, we consider only the total number of protons and the total number of neutrons. So when we are calculating atomic mass number, it is simply the number of protons P plus the number of neutrons N. P plus N gives us the atomic mass. To make this concept clear, if we take an example of a fluorine atom, if we look at one fluorine atom, it consists of 9 protons and 10 neutrons. So 9 protons and 10 neutrons inside the nucleus of fluorine, and they also have 9 electrons which are rotating around in orbits. But since these electrons are very small and negligible, we do not consider them while calculating the atomic mass. Hence, what is going to be the atomic mass for fluorine? Yes, that's correct. That will be 9 protons plus 10 neutrons, that is equal to 19 units. 19 atomic units will be the atomic mass for fluorine. Similarly, if we look at an atom of aluminium, aluminium consists of 13 protons and 14 neutrons. It also has 13 electrons rotating around the 3 orbits that aluminium has. But the atomic mass for aluminium is just considered as 27 units or 27 atomic units. That's 13 protons plus 14 neutrons giving us 27 units. Now let us look at the example of chlorine. In this case, chlorine consists of 17 protons and 18 neutrons. So its atomic mass is considered to be as 17 plus 18, which is 35 units. But is the atomic mass for chlorine taken as 35 units? No, we do not take the atomic mass unit for chlorine as 35, but the correct value is 35.5. Let us see how we arrive at this. In cases where elements have isotopes, there the average weight of the isotope is taken into consideration. Let us see with the example of chlorine. Now, if we consider 100 atoms of chlorine, okay, in that case, there are 75 atoms that would be of atomic mass 35. Out of the 100, 25 atoms will consist of atomic mass 37. So we see that we can calculate the atomic mass number by taking the mass number multiplied by the abundance percentage and removing the average of all the isotopes present. So whatever is the mass number of that particular isotope into its abundance, means how much percentage of that particular isotope is present. So in case of chlorine, we see that we have 75% of chlorine atoms which have atomic mass number 35, and we have 25% of chlorine atoms which have atomic mass number as 37. So when we take the average of the abundance into the percentage of each isotope's atomic mass, we will get the average atomic mass, and that is how we come to the calculation for chlorine, which is 35.5. Now let us see another concept, which is relative atomic mass or atomic weight. The relative atomic mass or atomic weight of an element is the number of times one atom of an element is heavier than that of 1 upon 12 times the mass of an atom of carbon. Thus, relative atomic mass is mass of one atom of the element upon 1/12 the mass of one carbon atom. Now let us see what is relative molecular mass. The relative molecular mass or molecular weight of an element or a compound is the number that represents how many times one molecule of the substance is heavier than that of 1/12 the mass of a carbon atom. Means how many times an atom is heavier than that of 1 upon 12 times the mass of carbon. Now again, why we are taking 1 upon 12 times mass of carbon? We are equating this to one atomic mass unit. Carbon's atomic mass unit is 12. So that is why it's 1 upon 12. Okay, so how do we get to this relative molecular mass? Let us just see. The relative molecular mass is obtained by adding together the relative atomic masses or the atomic weights of various atoms. Let's see the example with sulfuric acid as a molecule explained down. One molecule of sulfuric acid has 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of sulfur and 4 atoms of oxygen, H2SO4. So mass of 2 atoms of hydrogen, so that is atomic mass of atomic weight of hydrogen is 1. So 1 into 2 gives you 2 atomic mass units. Mass of 1 atom of sulfur is 32 and mass of 4 atoms of hydrogen is 16 into 4, that gives us 64. So altogether the mass of sulfuric acid will be, yes, that will be 98 atomic mass units. So 2 hydrogen atoms, so 2 into 1, 1 sulfur atom, so that is 32, and 4 oxygen atoms, so that is 4 into 16, 64, and thus we get 98 atomic mass units. So in this way we can calculate molecular mass for any substance. Let us see 2 examples now. Okay, so let's see one numerical here. Calculate the relative molecular masses of the following compounds: cane sugar, copper sulfate crystals, ammonium sulfate. What's given here? In all these numerical, children, please note that the atomic masses in AMUs will be always given. So every element that is present in your numerical, its atomic mass will be given. So these are very simple. Only you need to know how many atoms of that particular element are present in its molecule. So once you know that, you need to just multiply the atomic mass with the number of atoms and then add individual elements. Add it for the individual elements. Let's see how to do it. So in the first example, that is for cane sugar, the formula, the chemical formula is C12H22O11. Sugar formula C12H22O11. So how do we write it? How do we calculate it? Here 12 is for the number of, you can say for atomic number of carbon. The atomic number of carbon is given as 12. And we have 12 atoms of carbon also in this molecular structure. So 12 into 12 plus, now here hydrogen's atomic number is 1. So 1 into 22. Why 22? Because there are 22 atoms of hydrogen present in this cane sugar formula. And plus 16 into 11. That is 16 is atomic mass of oxygen, and into 11 is, that is the number of atoms of oxygen present in sugar. So C12H22O12 we calculate as the mass number of carbon, that is 12 into 12 atoms of carbon plus 1, that is atomic number of hydrogen, into 22 atoms of hydrogen plus 16, that's atomic number for oxygen, into 11, that is the number of oxygen atoms present in sugar. So that works out to 144 plus 22 plus 176, which gives us 342 atomic mass units. So the atomic mass unit or the weight or relative molecular mass for cane sugar will be 342 atomic mass units. Okay, now let us see how to calculate the relative molecular mass for copper sulfate crystals. So what is the formula for copper sulfate crystals? That is CuSO4 dot 5H2O. So here we'll have to calculate for 1 atom of copper, 1 atom of sulfur, 4 atoms of oxygen. Then we have 5 water molecules. So if you take H2O as one group, then we'll have to multiply that with 5. So it's done in the same way. See in the next step, that is 63.5, which is the atomic mass for copper, plus 32, which is the atomic mass for sulfur, plus 16 atomic mass for oxygen into 4. Why 4? Because we have 4 oxygen atoms. To this, we should add 5 water molecules, that is 5 in the brackets 2. Why it's taken 2 for hydrogen? Because there are 2 atoms of hydrogen. Each have atomic mass 1, but we have 2 hydrogen atoms in a water molecule. So H2O contains 2 hydrogen atoms, so that will be 2 plus 16, that's the atomic mass for oxygen. So 5 into 2 plus 16. So for water, you can always keep it in mind, it is going to be 18. That is 2 plus 16, 18. So in this case, there are 5 water molecules, so that will be 5 into 18. So altogether, we are going to have 159.5 plus 90, that works out to 249.5 atomic mass units. Okay, now let us see how to calculate the relative molecular mass for ammonium sulfate. So what is the formula for ammonium sulfate? It is NH4 twice, NH4 the whole bracket 2 times SO4, that is for sulfate. So if you calculate individually, we have 2 atoms of nitrogen, 8 atoms for hydrogen, because if you're opening the brackets, you have to multiply each, N also by 2 as well as H4 by 2. So you're going to get 2 atoms of nitrogen, 8 atoms of hydrogen, 1 of sulfur and 4 of oxygen. Now put the values which are already given to you. Its atomic mass of nitrogen is 14. So 14 into 2 plus 1 into 8. 1, that is atomic mass for hydrogen, and 8 atoms of hydrogen, so 1 into 8, plus for sulfur it's only 1 atom, so just 32, plus 16 into 4, 16 being the atomic mass for oxygen and 4 atoms of oxygen, so that is 16 into 4, works out to 28 plus 8 plus 32 plus 64, giving you 132 atomic mass units. So when we calculate the relative molecular mass for ammonium sulfate, what is the final answer going to be? It will be 132 atomic mass units. Okay children, now we go to another topic. Once you know to calculate the atomic mass or molecular mass for any compound, then it is also easy to calculate the percentage composition. So what is percentage composition? Let us see. Percentage composition of a compound is the percentage by weight of each element present in it. Means if you're talking of water, so how much of hydrogen is present in water? So you need to calculate the atomic mass for water first and of hydrogen separately. So when you put mass of hydrogen upon the entire mass of water, you're going to get, and when multiply this by 100 is when you're going to get the percentage of hydrogen present in water. So percentage of an element in a compound is the total weight of an element in one molecule upon the gram molecular weight of the compound multiplied with 100. So total percentage of all the elements in a compound is taken to be as 100. Only when we are calculating as a percentage to be 100, we can calculate. Okay, so let's see this with the help of some examples. So here we have an example where we have to calculate the percentage of hydrogen in water. So it is given that the relative atomic mass in AMU for hydrogen H is equal to 1 and O is 16. So let's see how we calculate that. Okay, so here first we need to find out the relative molecular mass for water. We have seen in our previous example. So for water it is 18, and how do we come to 18? Water consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen. So 1 into 2, 1 is the atomic mass for hydrogen, 2 atoms of hydrogen, so 1 into 2 plus 16. that is atomic mass of oxygen. So that is 2 plus 16 gives us 18. So how we are working out at relative molecular mass, that is 18 grams of water consists of 2 grams of hydrogen. So we need to convert this into percentage. So if 18 grams of water consists of 2 grams of hydrogen, how much will 100 grams of water contain? 100 grams will contain 2 upon 18 into 100. So it works out to 11.11. So that's, we can say the percentage of water is 11.1 percentage of hydrogen present in water. So in terms of percentage, when we take, we need to calculate for 100 grams of any particular compound. Okay, so if you want to work out more examples on this, we can take the previous examples and work out with them. Let's say how much percentage of carbon is present in cane sugar. So in that case, how it will work out to, if you go to your previous numerical, we worked out carbon value is 144. So you'll write 144 upon 342. That's the total for the entire sugar. For cane sugar, it is 342, whereas carbon in cane sugar is 144. So it will work out as 144 upon 342 into 100. So this is the way you can calculate the percentage of any element present in a compound.